is an essential part of a healthy lifestyle, and there's research that links it to a ton of reduced risk for heart disease, diabetes, and even some types of cancer. Plus, fiber is really great for a healthy gut. But the problem is a lot of us don't realize how much fiber we should be eating. We're not getting enough in our daily diet, and we aren't really prioritizing it as something that we need to eat every day. But we need more fiber, peeps, and today in this video, I'm going to show you some top foods that have a lot of fiber, a lot of foods you should be incorporating into your daily routines if you can, and I'm going to talk about why fiber is so beneficial to us. So let's get started. So basically, if you're eating homemade meals, if you're avoiding processed foods, if you're getting your water intake and doing your daily exercises, but you're not focusing on your daily fiber intake and getting your gut healthy, you're probably missing out on a huge portion of a healthy lifestyle. And you're making your body work even harder and working against all that other work you're putting in. So what is fiber? Fiber is a plant-based carbohydrate that you get from dietary foods, but it doesn't ever really get broken down through digestion and just passes through your digestive system. And that's really good because it attaches to foods along the way and it helps to make everything flow better. It removes carcinogens from your body as it passes along, and it keeps your digestive system working regularly. And so those are really good ways to keep your digestive system intact and healthy. Now there's two types of fiber. There's soluble fiber, which can be broken down in water, and soluble fiber is found in oats and nuts, beans and apples and blueberries, and that mixes with water and kind of forms a gel as it goes through your body and gets digested. And that's good because it actually slows the digestion of food. So if you've heard that fiber makes you feel full and keeps you feeling full longer, that is why. Now there's also insoluble fiber, and that's found in the skins and peels of fruits and vegetables, and also in nuts and seeds. So foods like whole wheat bread and brown rice that have that outer layer and all of those nuts and seeds in them. And those do not mix with water, and they get passed through your whole digestive system pretty intact. So we've talked about the digestive piece, but how does that play a role in keeping your body healthy? So in addition to keeping your gut healthy and helping food pass along better and keeping you regular, fiber also plays a role in other bodily functions as well. So the sugar in those high fiber foods is actually going to get absorbed more slowly, which is really good if you're wanting to have lower blood sugar levels and ultimately reduce the risk of diabetes and obesity. Plus that also has that added benefit of making you feel full longer, so you're not as hungry, you're not going to be craving foods as often, and you're not going to feel sluggish right after you eat a meal because of that longer time to digest and that less spike in sugar. And that's also going to help you eat less calories, which is going to help you lose weight, maintain your caloric intake, and it also is going to help to suppress hormones. It's going to make you feel hungrier. So overall, fiber is great for digestive health, colon health, weight loss, and general positive body functioning and blood sugar levels. So a lot of times people think, okay, I'm going to go eat fiber, and they go eat a ton of fiber, and they get a lot of bloating and cramping. And that's because your body isn't used to all of that fiber. So how much fiber should you be eating every day? For women, it's recommended to have about 25 grams of fiber coming from naturally occurring foods. And for men, it's recommended to have 38 grams of fiber. So if you can get to that on a daily basis, that is a great target. And so a lot of people go and they take a fiber pill or they drink Metamucil and they think, okay, this is how I'm going to get my fiber. But the truth is there's so many tasty and easy, naturally occurring ways to get your fiber intake. I'm going to go through some of the top foods that are high in fiber that you can start incorporating into your daily lifestyle today. Lentils are full of fiber. They're super inexpensive and they go great in salads and soups and just as a side. And if you're vegan, you're already eating it because you know it has a ton of essential protein in it, but it's also a great source of fiber. 1 cup of cooked lentils has 15.5 grams of fiber in it. Kidney beans are also really high in fiber. 1 cup contains about 11 grams of fiber. And just like lentils, kidney beans are a great way to add in fiber and protein and essential nutrients, and it's really cost effective. Chickpeas are packed with fiber and protein. 1 cup of cooked chickpeas contains 12.5 grams of fiber. They also contain a ton of helpful nutrients, and they're a great way to maintain your weight or lose weight because they have a lot of fiber to the amount of calories that are in them. Quinoa is a tasty and healthy, high protein, high fiber food that is gluten-free. 1 cup of cooked quinoa has about 5.2 grams of fiber. Avocados are also a great source. They have 13 grams of fiber per avocado. So then 1 serving of that avocado is going to have about 5 grams of fiber. They also have both soluble and insoluble fiber. Plus, they taste delicious and they're a great source of healthy fats. Rice is another way to get your fiber. Brown rice has more fiber than white rice because it still contains that outer husk. 1 cup of cooked brown rice has about 3.5 grams of fiber, whereas 1 cup of cooked white rice has 0.6 grams of fiber. Whole grain bread, like we talked about before, is also another great source. Just make sure you're looking for bread that at a minimum has per slice 3 grams of fiber, because you might be buying whole wheat bread that actually doesn't have any fiber in it, so you really need to pay attention to those labels. I love Dave's Killer Breads because they are not only delicious, they're also super high in fiber and protein. Pears are really high in fiber, especially that outer skin. They're really one of the best fruits out there as far as fiber goes. And that's because in a medium-sized pear, there's about 5.5 grams of fiber. And strawberries are also a good source, and because of their size, they are such a nutrient-dense food. They contain 3 grams of fiber per 1 cup of strawberries. Plus, you get a ton of antioxidants and vitamin C with strawberries, so I definitely encourage strawberries as well. Apples are also great, and a medium-sized apple has about 4.5 grams of fiber. And like we talked about before, the soluble fiber in apples is going to have that pectin, which is going to be really great to helping you stay fuller longer. Raspberries are awesome. A cup of raspberries has 8 grams of fiber. Plus, it has manganese and vitamin C, so those are also very nutrient-dense. Plus, they're also low in sugar. A medium-sized banana has about 3.1 grams of fiber, so I love freezing them and then adding them to my protein shakes to have that added fiber in my protein shake as well. Plus, compared to raspberries, they actually have a high sugar content, so they work as a great natural sweetener. Carrots are also high in fiber, as well as other root vegetables. Carrots are low in calories, high in essential nutrients and vitamins and minerals, and 1 medium carrot has about 2 grams of fiber. Sweet potatoes are also a great option, and 1 cup of cooked sweet potatoes has about 4 grams of fiber. Just make sure to also eat that skin on the sweet potato because it is highly nutritious and it's going to give you all those extra nutrients and that added insoluble fiber. Beets are awesome. Not only do they help regulate your blood pressure and help reduce inflammation, they also contain fiber. So 1 cup of cooked beets has about 3.8 grams of fiber. Broccoli is a super nutritious, cancer-fighting, high-protein, high-fiber, cruciferous vegetable. I love broccoli and have it all the time. 1 cup of broccoli has about 2.5 grams of fiber. Brussels sprouts are also high in fiber. 1 cup has about 4 grams of fiber in them.
Wow.
Plus, they're high in cancer-fighting antioxidants and also other vitamins and minerals and potassium. Oats are a great soluble fiber to include. 1 cup of raw oats contains about 16.8 grams of fiber, which is crazy. So then when you cook that and it expands, you're going to have a little bit less when you're cooking it. I recommend looking for steel-cut oats, old-fashioned oats, or rolled oats because those are going to have the most fiber content because they are the least processed. Almonds are really high fiber nuts. They have 3.4 grams of fiber per ounce. Other nuts like pistachios and walnuts are also high in fiber. Chia seeds are super high as well. Just 1 ounce of chia seeds has a whopping 10.6 grams of fiber, so those are definitely power packed. And actually, dark chocolate is a really great source of fiber. 1 ounce of dark chocolate has 3.1 grams of fiber in it. So check out the video on the 7 foods I eat every day to see how I incorporate a ton of these different foods into